Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Monday, July the 25th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. Chris Phillips here of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. What is going on? I can see the chat is already going crazy. Ben DeRosa, Travis Allen, John Edward, Brendan, Babes and Waves, Cody Gaskins, Luke RJ, Chase, Todd, Rebecca's in the chat. My guy Lance is in the chat. Chase Floyd's in the chat. Marion's in the chat. Everybody's in the chat. It's almost like something big's happening today. Also, guys, in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. Again, of course, guys, you already know the drill. You know what's going on. We have got a hot show today. Very, very excited because former Gamecocks quarterback Stephen Garcia will be joining us today around 12:15 or so. Around 12:15 or so, he will be joining us. I actually just shot him the link. So, again, we will be getting Stephen on the airwaves for about 20 or 30 minutes or so. Really excited. Again, I want to remind you all, we will not be taking calls during that 30-minute segment. So, if you try to call in and the phone lines are on Do Not Disturb, do not take it personally. Again, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I'm very excited to chat with each and every single one of you. Hunter Herlong asks, how's Greenville treating you? Great. As you can see behind us, the studio is really starting to take shape, starting to get set up. This still, though, will not probably be the setup you see, will probably not be, I know it won't be actually, the forever setup. I've got a bookcase on the way from Amazon that's going to go on this other wall over here that you cannot see. So we might have a very similar setup to what we had at the old studio. I'm going to try to show you all, though. Let's see. I know there's many folks out there that are interested. Probably on Behind the Beak, I will do like a new studio tour, but you can kind of see here we've got stuff set up. Again, the bookcase will go over there. And then there's tons of stuff on this wall, like this wall right here. All kinds of memorabilia set up. TV is above me. So really, really exciting stuff. And again, the studio coming together, man. I was up super late last night putting everything together, and really great stuff, man. It's starting to feel very, very dope in here. The vibes are immaculate, I can tell you that, man. The studio upgrade is immense. I mean, the studio is 100,000 times better than it was. 100,000 times better than it was beforehand. So anyways, guys, we are taking, in the meantime, though, your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. And then, of course, after Stephen Garcia's appearance, we will take questions, comments, and calls, just not during his appearance. I'm actually texting Stephen right now because, of course, Stephen's going to wait to the last second to ask me, do I need headphones? Yeah. Of course. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Really exciting stuff. Really, really exciting stuff today. Really looking forward to chatting with Stephen. And obviously today it'll be the first one. We'll be doing this every single Monday. I think as long as he can do 12:15 to 12:45, I'm down with that time. If he wants to one day do 1:15 to 1:45 or 1 to 1:30, or we'll figure it out as we go. And I'll be sure to keep you guys. I'm rocking the Viva Garcia stuff. Keep you guys updated. I will keep you guys updated. Heck, knowing Stephen, there will probably be some days where he jumps in early, he jumps in late. Your best bet is this, guys. Just tune in immediately when the Daily Crow begins. Really quickly, guys, the Daily Crow is brought to you by our friends over at Carolina Ale House. Be sure to check out our friends over at Carolina Ale House. We continue the TSUS tour this week as we embark to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yes, the Dirty Myrtle. Cannot wait. Thursday night, 6 o'clock. It's the Hollywood Drive location. I don't think there is another Myrtle Beach location. Either way, though, the Carolina Ale House in Myrtle Beach, really, really excited. It's funny. Myrtle's not a part of the state that I have frequented a whole lot. It's really not. Growing up, we always went to Hilton Head or Savannah or whatever to go to the beach. I only went to Myrtle like maybe once or twice. So to get up there, I'm actually going to stay Thursday night because, of course, it is a 4-hour drive. And then Friday, I said on the podcast, guys, that maybe we'd have the Daily Crow Friday. I feel like I should just go ahead and say no Daily Crow because I just know myself well enough to know that I'm going to wake up Friday and I've got to be out of my Airbnb by 9 o'clock. And I'm going to want to be at the beach. I'm going to want to be at the beach. And I think it'd probably be too much to try to swing TDC and being at the beach and finding somewhere, a lunch spot to do it. So we might do like a Twitter Spaces. I'm thinking most likely we will not do a Daily Crow on Friday because, again, I will be literally on the beach. So all my Myrtle Beach Gamecocks, if y'all want to have a day, let's have a day. I'm trying to chill on the beach. Where should we go? I'm trying to explore Myrtle a little bit. I'm a tourist, right? I'm basically a tourist. So let's have us a day Friday at Myrtle. And again, I'm really looking forward to the tour continuing. Somerville was incredible. Somerville was such a good time. And I appreciate you guys coming out. Also, guys, I want to say, I mentioned this on the podcast, but I mentioned it on social media. Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I bumped a cord and all hell broke loose. Anyways, I do want to say thank you to you all. I mentioned this on the podcast, mentioned it on social media. The towels, literally our first batch, have sold out, and there are still orders pending. Now, that doesn't mean the towels are sold out. Continue to order more towels. I am picking up more. I'm picking up another batch this week. But the first 100 we got ordered, because I was like, I feel confident we're going to sell 100, but you just don't know. So let's just get 100, see how it goes. Within 2.5 days, they were gone, right? 2.5 days, they were gone. So I cannot say thank you enough, man. I will have towels on hand at all of the tour stops, but of course that means Thursday in Myrtle Beach, I will have the towels on hand. We'll have koozies on hand as well. We'll be selling those for $5 a pop, both the towels and the koozies. So thank you all so much, man. Again, the continued love and support on the merchandise side of the business and just all the positive momentum in regards to that. And I mean, it's crazy, man. I've literally got all these packages, in my living room that I got to send out. We're going to get that taken care of. Hopefully today, if not today, definitely by end of day tomorrow. But again, thank you all so much, man, for the love and support on the merchandise side. And again, Beamer Ball towels are still officially on sale. Also, by the way, just on the note of positive momentum and exciting things happening, as you all know, Todd and Moore already put in their big order. We are fulfilling that. We should be getting that merchandise over to them this week. Believe it or not, guys, it takes a week or two to get this stuff taken care of. Got a text over the weekend, though. We are re-upping our merch in Rivals in Florence, South Carolina. They are ordering more of the QB1 t-shirts as well as Beamer Ball hats, trucker hats, both garnet and black. So if you want Beamer Ball merch, you want the QB1 merch, you want the Beamer Rattler merch, you can go to Rivals in Florence, South Carolina. And then, of course, for all the Beamer Ball merch, that is being carried at Todd and Moore as well. And, of course, our online store, you can also go there. So, guys, really exciting stuff. Again, as we sit here 40 days away from kickoff. I mean, guys, we're about to be in the 30s. Starting tomorrow, we're in the 30s. Also, there's some exciting stuff happening. At the facility today. It is media day, I believe, from what I've been told. So they will be taking pictures, and we're probably going to see uniforms and stuff like that, and just guys in uniform and taking photos. Stephen Garcia, by the way, just texted me and said that he's hopping on right now. So I told you, right? He's probably going to be early. Let's see. He said he's hopping on. So I will wait to see. Let's see. I'm trying to put a tweet out there. Let's see. There we go. A little down arrow. There we go. Okay, so Steven should be tuning in the next, he literally texted me just a minute ago and said he's hopping on now. So, anyways, today will be fun, though. We'll just kind of shoot the shit. Obviously, the first one, there's not a lot of football to talk about at this point. We'll get his impressions. Obviously, they're like Rattler and everything going on. But let me actually, in the meantime, and guys, I don't do this to be mean in regards to putting the phone line on Do Not Disturb, but the whole point of Garcia coming on, obviously, is to get his thoughts on things and opinions. And I mean, guys, we could sit here probably every Monday and do a full-on fucking pardon my language. We could sit here and do a full-on Q&A. But yeah, that's not the point. Okay, here we go. I love this. Let's see if he can cut his video on. Can he cut his video on? Is it possible that he cuts his video on? see. You guys will see what his name is, by the way, on the stream or whatever. Let's see. Come on, Stephen, get the video, my guy. This is run number 1, guys. So we will get to a point. We will get to a point where this this is a little smoother of a process. Austin, Somerville was awesome, dude. The crowd was incredible. We had a great turnout. We sold a lot of merch. We talked Gamecocks, had a little Q&A, but it was just a great night for fellowship and hanging out with Gamecock fans. And like I said, getting excited for the season and talking about a lot of stuff on the show, talking about a lot of stuff on the show that, we've been talking about on the podcast. Maybe he just jumped on and he's just going to wait till 12:15, but I text him to cut his video on. So yeah, anyways, he is in the back end though. And he just got out. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Technical difficulties, Muschamp hackers. I don't know what's going on Steven's end. Let's see. He's texting me right now. Oh my God. Steven. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. If y'all could see the text I just got. Oh my God. Okay. He's figuring out technology on his end. Either way, we will get Stephen Garcia on the airwaves in the next couple of minutes. Viva Garcia indeed. Lance says, got to ask about joining me in a latte battle week 1. Yeah, I don't know when Gar will be on when Gar will be in town. Cocky Twan, Stephen Garcia is about to jump on. He was scheduled 12:15. He's jumping in the back end as we speak, trying to get everything figured out. So I apologize. I know I just tweeted he's joining us now. I apologize. It's not literally at this moment. Yeah, so he is currently. Here we go. All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and bring him in. Here we go. All right.
Hey.
What's up, man? Dude, I'm glad you could figure it out. What's going on, man?
Jeez, man. Yeah, the DuckDuckGo browsing app that I use.
I'm about to say, what is DuckDuckGo? You texted me, I was like, is that autocorrect? So that's a thing.
No, it's the one time I spelled duck and I meant to spell duck.
Fair enough.
No, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
No, it's like they don't like track you. It's supposed to be like a more private Safari type deal.
Very good.
I don't know.
When you're the Roach King, you have to act, in a little bit of secrecy.
For sure.
Dude, so first off, man, dude, I appreciate you doing this. Obviously, I know this is something that's been in the works for a little bit. And so to have you on and throughout the season and talk ball and get your thoughts on obviously the X's and O's, but also just what's going on with Carolina football and college football and getting your insight is going to be incredible. So I want to say thank you for doing this, man. As I told you off the air, I know our audience is extremely excited that, they all obviously all value your opinion and look forward to what you have to say. But we've got a ton of time until football season. So first thing I'll ask you, man, how you been? I mean, just how's life? I saw I guess you were in Cola for a camp, right? You've been doing you're still training quarterbacks like crazy. So
yeah, man. So I actually went up there for, I've started working with these guys. I don't know if you can see it. It's called a day shift. It's basically like a high noon. I'm gonna close this laundry room. So I went up there. My brother's buddy from Harvard started this company, and they just signed a couple contracts with a couple suppliers and distributors and stuff like that. So they brought me on board, and went up there and had a good old time.
Yeah. So I got to ask you this, Stephen. Obviously, again, I'm not sure if people can see it, but your name, your stream name or whatever is Roach King. And we all see the Roach on a Rock stuff, the Roach stuff. Somebody brought this up to me the other day because I never had thought about it. I never thought to ask, where did the Roach stuff come from? Like, where did that start, the whole Roach thing?
So me and one of my best friends, my old roommate, Andrew Clifford, he was the backup of South Carolina. We lived in this house, and I don't know if you remember the Nintendo Wii, the Tiger Woods. Yeah. So I don't know. That had to be Tiger Woods, like 2009, 2010. anyways, we would say like, yeah, man, we gamble on these shots and have beers and stuff, and be like, yeah, watch me hit this approach shot, and we would like emphasize the approach, and all of a sudden we just kind of stopped saying approach, and we just went from there to just a roach, and then now I mean, we say that about everything now. It's pretty unbelievable. Like, yeah, man, we're down to roach up, man. I mean, obviously you've heard me talk, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And then,
man, the unofficial name of this segment is the Roach Rant. I mean, that's what this is. It's the Roach
exactly.
Rant.
I love it. Then it's another thing. It's what they say, that Twinkies and roaches will be the last thing to live on this planet after nuclear holocaust. So it took that, and that's when I started the roach blood deal.
Yeah, dude, I love that. I love that. So we'll get into football, man. Obviously, all the hype right now. I don't know if you probably didn't, but seeing SEC Media Days and all the hoopla and hype. I'll ask you that first, actually. I forget, remind me, did you ever go to an SEC Media Days or no? You didn't go to one, did you?
Not as a player. I went as a media boy.
You went as media. Do you look back and wish that you would have gotten the opportunity? Because some guys like that, but some guys aren't really, they don't want to talk to the media.
No. I was not upset that I didn't have to go to that. Yeah. It was, I'll tell you what, it was a lot more fun being on the media side of that.
Yeah. I know Coach Spurrier gave you a ribbing for sure when you were there. When you were
for sure.
Everything with Saturday Down South. But anyways, all the hype, man, coming in, and it all centers around Rattler, and it's ironic. I don't think you'll mind me saying this, is that I'm not sure you were exactly head over heels about bringing him in at first. Just talk about, though, Rattler, what you've seen in his game. Obviously a 5-star. I mean, the flashy 5-star guy. We all know about the QB1 documentary, but I mean, his stats, his numbers speak for themselves, the arm talent, the talent overall. Had a rocky year last year, but when Carolina picked him up, and I mean, just you know quarterbacks, you know the position. Your thoughts on him as a QB coming into Carolina?
Oh, I mean, that's big. I think that's why a lot of these media guys and a lot of these, Tebow, Greg McElroy, a lot of these guys are saying that South Carolina's got a chance to be pretty scary. It just depends. Are we going to get the Heisman hopeful Spencer Rattler? Or are we going to get the guy that got benched last year and he didn't get benched for some slouch either. I mean, the guy, Caleb he's a pretty legit guy. But no, I mean, I've never met the kid personally, so I don't really have an opinion of him. As far as athletic quarterback, and as far as just a quarterback in general, I mean, he's obviously a 5-star for a reason. I mean, the guy's got a live arm. He can obviously play ball. I'm really interested to see how he transformed from playing the NAC conference to playing in the SEC, where I think they play defense a little bit more stringent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, his transition from the Big 12 to the SEC. Is that as big a deal, you think, as people make it out to be? Because that obviously everybody beats their chest about the SEC. You like the jump from defenses from Big 12 to SEC it's like a real thing.
No, I think it is for sure. I will say that, I mean, everybody can see from, over the course of the last few years that the defensive prowess of the SEC is kind of taking a back seat to the offensive schemes by these guys. Lane Kiffin, from even when it started in Alabama, these guys are scoring 50, 60 points a game. It's not a 21-3 game. It's none of that. They're outscoring guys by a lot. So I think guys are more reliant on offense. I know the fans want to see, the ball in the air. They want to see a lot of points scored. I don't think they really care as much about defense as they used to, say back when, I was playing. But I still, just from watching college football on Saturdays, you can see the difference in defenses from all the other conferences to the SEC, in my unbiased opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Stephen, you were in the facility pretty recently, and it's that time of year where we're locking in predictions, and we're saying, what does Carolina have to do to win 7 or to win 8? It's kind of funny because I tell people, like, the mentality we have trying to lock in predictions, it's completely different from, I mean, everybody in the facility expects to win every game, as they should. Like, nobody gives a crap about preseason projections and who's picking who at SEC Media Days. I'm not sure if you were able to talk to Beamer, but obviously I know you were in there with a couple of your former teammates. What's the sense, like, what's the vibe? Did you get a sense of the feeling around the facility? I'm assuming a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz. I mean, it's sort of that time of year where, I think we're like 11 days away from fall camp starting, and the season's, 40 days away. What was the overall vibe you got from being in the building just a little bit ago?
I mean, there's definitely a little bit more of a buzz, so to speak, and a higher vibe than, years past. So there's something to say about that. I mean, I went out there and I saw Luke Doty out there running by himself. Actually, he had a couple other teammates with him, but I don't remember seeing that a few years ago coming back to that facility, and it's a good thing to see. And yeah, I actually went up to the equipment guy and I was like, "Hey man, can I get some stuff, man? Like all my other stuff is old." He's like, "Dude, I literally just sent you like a big ass bag, a care package, like a couple months ago." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I lost a little bit of weight, so I need a different size." So yeah, they gave me a big bag, and I was like, "Dude, I didn't get this much gear when I was here playing, and I got a whole bag of stuff. I mean, it was awesome." But yeah, I mean, talking with Byron Jarrett, who's a strength coach and over there now he was one of my teammates. He's like, "Dude, it's night and day different from when he was in Knoxville a few years ago." Even from last year, he's like, "Dude, there's just a lot more energy, and it's palpable." And I mean, I could feel it just being around there for a couple hours.
Yeah, helps a lot when you win your last game of the season, for sure. Beat
sure.
North Carolina the way you did. Switching gears a little bit, Stephen, because again, I feel like we've got so many shows up until kickoff, so we've got some time to kill. The Alabama game. You've been asked a zillion questions about the Bama game. I was thinking about this last night. Every time, I'm sure it gets old for you. Like it's like the same game and probably some of the same questions just over and over. Is there anything that you think about in the Bama game that you haven't talked about? Like, is there a question I could ask you about Bama or an answer you could give that you have not said before? That's what I'm curious about.
Not really. I think the only thing is that people don't really talk about as much as, and it was a very crucial point of the game or play of the game, so to speak, is when I took that safety on when they snapped it over my head. Like people don't understand, and they were like, "What the hell were you thinking?" It's like, if I get sacked or if I fumble it and they end up scoring a touchdown on that, I mean, the way the defense was playing, it was a very quick tactical decision that I was making, and then, it ended up working out. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a very underrated play. And Spurrier chewed my ass out as it was going on. And then watching a tape on Monday night, he was like, "Dude, that's probably like one of the plays of the game." Yeah. And I was like, "Man, I wish you would have done that when we were playing and not jump my ass over it."
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize too, like go back and watch the play. You're making that decision with a 300-pound athletic freak chasing you. And it's like you have that long to decide.
Right.
And I mean, you think about, like you said, man, you think about what if you'd have tried to pick it up and muff it and they pick it up and score a touchdown, it would have been a lot worse.
And the thing is, like, I've watched that game a million times. It was just on the SEC network, I think, from what I was told on social media. But I actually got a really good bounce. Like as soon as I went back to chase it, I got a good bounce. I mean, I feel like I could have ran and maybe threw it away.
Right.
But like I said, you got somebody chasing you, trying to take your head off.
Right.
You just try to get the damn ball out of your hand and let the defense, take the safety, let your defense keep balling.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you look at the offensive scheme for Carolina, I'm not sure how many, how much film or whatever you got to watch from last year. They bring in Freddie Kitchens, which I thought was really interesting, a former NFL coach who's now an analyst. Again, you bring in Rattler, you bring in all these receivers. Last year the offensive line was such a problem, and so I really feel like it just completely wrecked what they were trying to do offensively. Do you have any expectations, or do you pick up any sort of indication on what South Carolina is going to want to do offensively? I mean, now you got Rattler, a guy that can get the ball downfield. You've got an Antoine Wells from James Madison. Van is back. Jaheim Bell should ball out this year. I mean, you want to be as balanced as possible. And we did the spreads. I think last year South Carolina was like 65-35 run to pass. I mean, what do you pick up in regards to what South Carolina wants to do offensively? Is it just as simple as 50-50? Or, we even heard Rattler say something about they want to be like the LA Rams, which I thought was a really, really interesting comment.
That is interesting. But yeah, I mean, if you got a special player like that behind center, and not to take any away from the guys last year, I'm a big Luke Doty fan. I think he's a salt of the earth guy, and he can get the job done. But I think when you bring in a guy like Rattler, I think you want to keep the ball in his hands as often as possible, and let him make plays with his arm, obviously, and let him kind of run around, extend plays, and just kind of find the open guy, as Coach Spurrier would say. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the percentage goes, and watch, I mean, I have no idea. I think a lot of people aren't going to know what to expect with this guy, behind center. I think the main thing is, like you said, with the offensive line, just making sure he stays healthy.
Now, again, Stephen, you were QB1. Rattler's the big man on campus right now. And it's interesting, though. I think back to, man, thank God during your career that, like, Snapchat and, like, the iPhones weren't the way they are now.
No
there would be enough video probably for, like, a full documentary just from that.
No doubt about it. I'm very glad that there wasn't. Very grainy.
Right. You could get away with, like, I know for a fact, because I think I saw it yesterday, there's still like a picture of you and Spurrier on your official visit, and it is like the most grainy looking picture you've ever seen, but it's obviously you.
Yeah.
But the point I was going to make in that was just being the big man on campus. Rattler, I think it's a great situation for him because he had so much pressure in Norman, and we all know the expectations that, he was a guy favorite to win the Heisman, favorite to be the number 1 draft pick. Oklahoma's got to win a national title. And when you win the Big 12 your freshman year, you set yourself up for those type of expectations. But just give people an idea. Again, what it's like walking around campus, being that dude. Unfortunately, it's like no matter what. I tell people this about Connor Shaw too. Like, the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy on campus. It doesn't matter what you do. I remember Connor up until like that Mizzou game 2013, people were still like, Dylan should be starting, like I'm like, it's crazy, but like, it just does not matter who you are. Everybody's always calling for the backup, it seems, no matter what. What's it like carrying that pressure around on your shoulders on campus day to day?
Yeah, I think you got a pretty good idea of my personality, and I personally just didn't give a shit what anybody had to say or think. And I'm not a moron. Like, I knew I played shitty.
Right.
I also knew, like, in the locker room, I also knew, like, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that nobody knows. But everybody, the quarterback gets blamed for everything, for the wins and for the losses. That's just kind of the deal you gotta live with. But I tell people all the time, I said, I wish I would have realized just how important of a fish I, so to speak, was in the city of Columbia. And I think I would have made a couple different choices. But that's, you live and learn. I don't know, but I think it's the amount of pressure he has right now. I think there's a lot of pressure kind of with everybody around that team. But I do think that, like you said, finishing the way they did last year, beating North Carolina in that bowl game, kind of sets everybody up for the future. And now we got to put that to the test.
Steven, I want to bring this up. I had a buddy of mine text me because what's fun, I want the look on your face. I have to imagine when I asked this, because he asked me, he's like, can you ask Steven, what made him want to cut his hair when he got to Carolina? And I know that's not how it went.
No.
I know that's not how it went. I don't think you willingly got a buzz cut, my guy. I don't think that was a choice you made.
It was not, and it wasn't even a buzz cut. It was a Lord Farquaad haircut.
One picture of you, that is that's like, delete that off the internet.
Oh, it was bad.
Man.
Bad.
So
I did not. And the thing is, like, the whole time Coach Spurrier is recruiting me and Coach David Reeves is recruiting me, they're like, I had a beard like this in high school. I had hair, like Braveheart. And the whole time they're recruiting me, like, oh yeah, you don't have to cut your hair. You don't have to shave. Like, you're good to go. Meanwhile, you got guys, Bob Stoops, all these other guys are. Coach Shula at Alabama was like, yeah, you need to cut your hair. You need to shave and look the part. I was like, oh, okay, this ain't gonna work. So anyways, I graduate early. I get there for the first workout, and Coach Spurrier and Coach Reeves kind of come up to me. They're like, all right, you're going to cut your hair and shave your beard, right? I was like, absolutely not, man. Like, no, I'm not. And, everything it was just kind of headbutt. And then as soon as I got in trouble, he's like, all right, the games are over, man. You're cutting.
Yeah, I forget. God, it was one of the recent interviews we did. I forgot exactly who it was, but they said, Spurrier said, yeah, we're not recruiting you anymore. You're not being recruited anymore. So
yeah.
You're on campus now. What are you going to do?
Yep.
And this is before transfer portal was so prevalent.
Exactly. That and the NIL kind of changed that. Now the players kind of got.
Dude, I'm so glad you bring that up. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's one thing to have played college football and to say, man, I really missed on NIL. It's another thing to have played college football and been or been someone that really could have. Dude, let's just call it what it is. You could have benefited immensely. Heck, you've benefited. I don't know if you'd call it NIL, but you've been able to, monetize your name, image, likeness, whatever you want to call it. But like, what are your thoughts now looking like? Are you just like, man, these guys have got it so good that they're just
it's crazy, man. And then you got these guys that have never even played a snap of college football that are coming out of high school that are getting paid $6 and $7 million. Just
crazy to me.
Yeah, it irritates the hell out of me. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm glad these guys are finally getting paid for. Because doing that and getting to that level, it's not easy. You sacrifice a lot of stuff, in high school and youth. I mean, you got guys that are, not going on family vacations. They're not going out partying on, with their families at whatever, or going to parties with their friends. I mean, they kind of just take sacrifices, and I think they should be rewarded with that. And everybody can say like, oh, you get a free education. Okay, no, that's it. I don't think these. I mean, we don't really go for the education. If you, I hate to say it, but
right.
We're going there to
what was
play.
It? What was it? Dwayne Haskins said, "We're not here to play school."
Yes,
I believe that was it.
I thought that was a great quote.
But
it is what it is. And now you see with this NIL stuff, now they're definitely not going to play school. They're going
right.
They're doing car dealerships and all this other stuff. And I thank God I have made a couple NIL stuff, but it's like it's literally pennies on the dollar from what I feel like I could have done. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think you would have been a Village Idiot athlete if nothing else, right? I mean,
green. I mean, you name
it. I'm just trying to think of like what would have been like the big NIL deals for you. Like what would have been who would have been the big money NIL deal for Stephen Garcia?
I honestly don't even know, but I don't know if Greens could actually do it with a current student athlete. Yeah. I feel like they'd make a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a very good question, but I'm sure it would have been very beneficial. But
let me ask you this. This is kind of sort of in the same ballpark. If you had a signature cocktail or a signature drink at a bar in 5 Points, what would it be? What's that's the Garcia drink right there.
From college or right now?
Right now, say both, because apparently it's changed. Changed
significantly. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Hairy Buffalo. I think people will love this. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't know. I haven't actually.
So I learned this from Brian at Village, and the little bar mats.
Yes.
We're shut down. So at the end of the night, and we always shut down Village. He would take the whole mat and dump it into a cup.
I was afraid you were going to go there.
Yep. So that's what they call the Hairy Buffalo, and that's how it ended in the Village Idiot days.
So that was how you'd end the night. That's how you'd end the night.
Yeah. No, it was
God.
Yeah. So then now it's I want freaking bourbon on the rocks, like good bourbon, not stuff.
Not drinking Kentucky Gentleman on the rocks anymore.
No, I am not.
Bro, the Hairy Buffalo. I hate to say this, Stephen, but that explains a lot. That does. That explains a lot.
That explains the roach blood, man.
Oh God.
That's how you fire roach blood.
Yeah, that's roach blood. That's how you get rhino skin. Oh my God, dude, this has been incredible. That
was my vaccine. I got the vaccine.
He's immune to COVID because of the Hairy Buffalo. I mean, I really do feel like too. Like if I took somebody out, let's just say they were a huge college football fan. I was like, let's go out in Columbia. I'm going to get you Stephen Garcia's signature drink. And we got that and they saw them pouring it. They'd be like, this is pretty much on par for what I thought.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. This is it.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I'll say this in closing, I'll get you out of here. Like I said, we're told the audience, we're going to do like 20 to 30 minutes. And dude, I appreciate you. This is going to be the best content on the internet every single Monday. And you're obviously a legend. And to some people, you're also my doppelganger. I don't know, the beard, whatever. Either way. I'll never forget the quote that you had on these airwaves. And I tell people, and I'm like, I feel like I should be proud of this when I said that Mike Davis said you and I looked alike, and I was like, is that a good thing? Is that you were like, that's a great thing. You probably get tons of ass for that. And I'm like, that Stephen Garcia just told me. Yeah. And I'm sorry if your girl just heard that, but vote of confidence. It just means, hey, we're some attractive dudes, man. It's all good. But dude, on the football side of things, I hope I didn't get you in trouble, by the way. That was like 2 years ago. On the football side of things, a buddy of mine, we're sitting there smoking cigars yesterday, and we just we happened to stumble across the 2010 SEC championship game. And we just watched like the first couple minutes or so because obviously Cam Newton turned to Superman. We played a great game up until half, and then second half he just went off. But I tell you, man, just watching that, and I kept saying to him, I was like, just to go back, man. Like just to see like the CBS broadcast cut on. There's the Block C, and
I'm getting freaking goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
It's just like no matter the result of that game, God, just to go back to Atlanta, bro. I mean, and I think, I know you feel very strongly about Shane. You wanted Shane to be the head coach. I mean, I tell people I wouldn't put Beamer Ball or Beamer's name on a T-shirt if I didn't think he was, he was legit or he was the dude. And I know we're all excited. And, you don't want to set unfair expectations, but I know that's obviously the goal for those guys. And again, just watching that and even though the result of the game wasn't what we wanted, man, it's like I think that's kind of what keeps you going. You know what I mean? Like the chasing that feeling again, getting back to Atlanta.
Absolutely. And the good news is that he's been there. He knows what it was like. And I think he knows how to get these guys fired up to get back there. It's a daunting deal, especially, with Georgia, kind of playing the way they are, and Florida, who knows what Florida's ever going to be again, but they're always pretty tough. And now Kentucky just coming out of nowhere. Now they're playing some good ball.
Picked to finish second in the East.
I saw that. It's like
crazy.
I don't understand how or why, but
I mean, like you think about it, how far everything's come. It's like your last year. I mean, I know Connor, that was obviously the week after the Auburn game, but I think Connor beat him like 52-10 or something. Like just demolished them.
Yeah.
How far Kentucky's came. It's just crazy.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, I hope I hope that Coach Beamer can get them back. And I think he's got a lot more leeway and a little bit more patience from the fan base and from the board and everything else because he's a likable guy, man. Guys want to play for him, and that's kind of a big difference from what I've been told as far as from the previous regime.
Yeah. No, I mean, excited for the season. Obviously, again, Stephen, a lot of our conversation will shift to more, I guess, focused on this 2022 season as we get closer to kickoff. But just wanted to just kind of shoot the shit, honestly, in this first show. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, man. Again, those tuned in, appreciate y'all every single Monday. You think 12:15 to 12:45 is going to work? You think that's solid? Yep. Okay, well, then we'll do that every Monday then. And we'll also get to work on the merch, my guy. I'm thinking about like a roach with a microphone in front of it, something. Just there's something funny we can do. There's something funny. Or like I love Roach King. I'll be honest with you, Roach Rant, Roach King, something with a roach. It has to happen.
We'll make it happen. I'll shoot you a text and we'll
it's crazy too. I hate roaches. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't know.
I used to hate them, and
that's my little guy right there, little roach blood guy. Stephen. Yeah. Hopefully not too many of them.
No. I do kill them.
Do y'all have roaches in Florida? Is that a thing?
Not like South Carolina.
Yeah, like the palmetto bugs and shit. Like,
oh my God,
terrible.
Yeah, those things I felt like they'd take you away and bury you.
They'll pick you up and fly away with you.
No, we got some roaches, but it's nothing like that serious. And I got a pest company that comes around, and so they don't venture in here very often.
Beautiful. Stephen, I'll let you get out of here, man. Again, thank you so much. Looking forward to next Monday, and this is a beautiful thing, man. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful thing. So appreciate you, my dude.
Looking forward to it for sure, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Take care. We'll talk soon, Stephen.
All right, bud.
All right, man. Wow, that was incredible. That was incredible. That was so. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was so amazing. Damn, that was cool. That was fun. And the fact we're gonna do that every single Monday. So, that was awesome. Steven's a legend. Guys, I say this. That's gonna be the best content ever. I mean, we're doing that every Monday. That's gonna be the best content on the internet. College football content, just any content, I think, in general, every single Monday. Like I said, the conversations will shift a lot more towards this 2022 season and Carolina football. But, obviously today, we're sitting here July 25th. But, I appreciate it. Guys, if you missed that conversation, if you jumped in late, guys, here's the beautiful thing. This is all streamed on YouTube. You can go back in the stream or after it's over. This conversation will be there for you to watch over and over. We'll have clips from this conversation right after we get off here as well. I feel so like what I love about this. I feel so confident in saying that every single Monday, there's going to be at minimum one clip that's gold. Like at minimum one, a clip that can go viral. Who wants to try a hairy buffalo? Does anybody out there want to have one? I don't even know if my guy Lance Player would have one. And I feel like Lance, I don't want to put this on you, my guy, but I'm going to. I feel like Lance would probably drink anything. So a hairy buffalo. I might have to talk to Brian Glenn when I go back into Columbia and ask him about the old hairy buffalo. I just, I don't drink anymore. So what am I even talking about? But who's going to have it? Who's going to drink the hairy buffalo? I don't know. Guys, with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into a quick break. And then on the other side, I'll take the phone lines off Do Not Disturb. And we will take your questions, your comments, your calls. Guys, what a start to the week. What a start to the day. 843-790-3377. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. Okay. All right, cool. We're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. I don't know why sometimes when we go to commercial breaks, Mellon just decides to like cut my mic off. I don't know. Sometimes we just have to refresh things. Either way, we are back, guys, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. The phone lines are indeed open. The phone lines are indeed open. So now I want to hear from you. Again, that was an incredible segment from Stephen Garcia. That was unreal. Again, we'll have tons of clips from that conversation. Guys, if you missed that convo, do not fret. It's on YouTube, right? You can watch it. It's on Facebook video. You can go back and watch the video. And again, I will be clipping a ton of stuff from that conversation so you guys can catch up on it. And like I said, I'm so excited every single Monday. I want to say thank you to Stephen Garcia, man. Stephen, been incredible to me, incredible friend of mine. And I mean, listen, guys, I'm a fan just like y'all, man. So like getting to talk to the legend is it's so awesome. It's so awesome, man. And just appreciate y'all's love and support on that. I know it's content that y'all will find great value in. And, yeah, looking forward to that every single Monday. Dalton Hines says, watching for the great state of South Dakota. Love it. Dalton, have a fantastic time, my friend. Have a great time in old South Dakota, my guy. Have a great time in South Dakota. Let's see. I want to hear from you now. Hey, a huge weekend. G.G. Jackson officially picking the Gamecocks. Let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines here.
From
John Edward, what's going on, man? How are you?
Just working, my dude. What's up?
I'm just hanging out, man. Chilling. What's going on?
Not much. Dude, that was. I never knew he was that hilarious.
Yeah. No. Steven's a legend, man. I think we'll be good for every Monday. There will be some shenanigans going down, but nah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
No, yeah, I did. I just wanted to talk about Gigi real quick.
Yeah.
It was like I listened to your podcast this morning. It was like you said, worst kept secret in probably the country. Yeah, and some of the memes that were out there were pretty good, and I love like I said the picture Spencer posted of him and Gigi, and I think it was you that said if you told us a year ago you would have Spencer Rattler, Jackson, and Aaliyah all on campus.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and the star power is there. And if you want to even throw Braswell in from baseball, but yeah, man, it's a fun time to be a Gamecock right now. It's great times to be a Gamecock, and again, we've got those personalities and that star power, and that was huge, man. That pickup by Lamont Paris, you can't overstate how big of a pickup that is. That is a pickup that we will be feeling the effects of for years. This isn't a 1-year thing. This should be a pickup and a signing that we feel the impact for years to come, changing the narrative around Gamecock basketball and the thoughts on, can you go to USC and win or get drafted or have success? Lamont Paris is actively changing that as we speak. So just a massive pickup, massive for that program.
Let me ask you this. Like you bring up, feeling the effect of Gigi probably for years, because he's going to be a one and done. I think we all know that. Like, would you say feeling the effects of the same effect like as Clowney, or is that a bit like reaching too far?
You saying, do I think Gigi will have the same effect as Clowney?
I guess, yeah. Or is it like too, with is probably bigger? I have no idea. Like the effect that Clowney had.
I mean, I think I think it's a completely different scenario for first off, because Jadavion, I mean, we're talking about a sport in basketball where like really one player can make a team versus, Clowney was surrounded by other great players. He was a huge piece in it, but he was surrounded by other great players. But I mean, listen, I think the impact Gigi's going to have again is making prospects give South Carolina a second and third look and say, hey, I don't have to go out of state. I don't have to go to a so-called blue blood to have success and make the postseason and to go to the next level. Getting a guy like G.G. Jackson, it starts to change the narrative. Just like getting a Spencer Rattler at South Carolina begins to change the narrative about a top quarterback can say, or a top offensive player, or just a top player in general could say, hey, I can go to South Carolina. Hey, it's a thing. 5 stars do that. It's not looked at as like, well, no 5 stars go to Carolina. It's like, well, look, one just did. So it's starting to change that narrative. And, again, I'm not sure it's exactly like the Clowney situation, but I mean, again, it's a massive, massive deal for that basketball program and should mean great things in the future.
Yeah, oh crap, I just got my other question, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I did type in the chat one day. I usually don't do this, but my predicted, let me say this, and then I'll get out of here. Is it just me, or is it, I guess, quote unquote, easier to pick the SEC East as opposed to the West?
Is it easier to pick the East versus the West? Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
I feel like
I have three teams finishing 8-4 in the West. So, the West is very competitive. There's some really good teams, and I mean, I don't think the East is easy to pick by any stretch because it's no brainer. Georgia's at the top, and it's no brainer. Vandy's at the bottom, and I guess you could say maybe Mizzou, but out of South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, and Kentucky, that 2 through 5 I think could literally finish in any order. So. The West might be a little bit more confusing, but they're both. I mean, one of the most intriguing storylines from the SEC side is just who is the third best team in the conference. Who's the third best team in the conference?
Oh, right,
Is it you got Bama, Georgia, then who?
Then who? A&M.
Then who? So
yeah, people think it's gonna be A&M, but are they ready to, take that step?
Indeed.
Indeed. My whole thing.
Yeah, indeed.
So, yeah. All right. Thanks, dude. And see you in a few weeks.
Yeah. John Edward, I appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to Fort Mill for sure, man. Going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. See you, dude.
Yeah, man. Take care. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Coach Ford. How's it going, Coach Ford? He says, oh, my God. You just blow past Mizzou. We don't seem to be able to beat them. Well, Coach Ford, when I'm looking at the East, and looking at the hierarchy, Coach Ford, would you disagree and say Mizzou's going to be a good team this year? What do you predict Mizzou to be? Do you really think Carolina's going to lose to Mizzou on their home field this year? I mean, I respect your prediction, but if you want to throw, I just don't look at Mizzou. Like, I don't put Mizzou in the same category as Kentucky, as Tennessee, God forbid. So, you can throw Mizzou in there if you want, but I don't think Missouri is going to be very good this year. I don't. I think it's a game that South Carolina should win and should win by double digits. I understand the last couple of years what's happened, but those were those years and this is this year. And Missouri should not beat South Carolina in Williams-Brice Stadium. Not even a chance. That's why I call it the most important game of the season, because you win that game, that doesn't guarantee you had a successful year. But if you lose to Mizzou, you're practically guaranteeing you had a dog shit year. I mean, you practically are. You know what I mean? So, let's see. I'm getting tagged all over the place, and let's see. Anyways, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Slap dicks are at it yet again on social media, which is pretty much par for the course. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, that's Coach Ford. That's fair. Hey, it's UGA at the top, Vandy at the bottom. Everybody else is just sort of fighting for second. I mean, that's fair. I'll give you that. I will give you that. Dalton with the question, are you concerned that Gigi at South Carolina could turn out to be like Anthony Edwards was for Georgia? Well, Anthony Edwards was a pretty damn high draft pick, my guy. So,
Call from
Will from
Dirty phone lines here. Will, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just wanted to see if what you thought about. I heard there's another scholarship spot open for that basketball team. Now that Gigi's there, how likely is it we pull another high-profile type of guy? Is there any left? the pool or whatever? Did you hear anything about that?
I haven't heard anything, but I surely think it doesn't hurt. I mean, great players want to play with great players. So I got to think there's a couple guys out there that would be interested in playing with a Gigi Jackson. So I have not heard anything specifically. I've heard no specific names, but, I certainly I don't think it hurts.
Yeah. And it's just crazy how much that turns Lamont Paris already, his little time he's been in Carolina around. I mean, how big is that? I mean, Frank Martin, other than, Thornwell and PJ, never really landed anybody big out of the state.
Mm.
So he's already off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's huge, man. What a notch in the belt it is for Lamont Paris and the start of the Lamont Paris era. And, for him to build that relationship so quickly. And I understand, listen, there were other factors that got Gigi to Carolina and why it worked. And but for Lamont Paris to build that relationship that quickly to a point where Gigi Jackson would be comfortable, putting the future of his basketball career in the hands of Paris, that's impressive, man. That's impressive. You got to give credit where credit's due. And I know many of us, even those that, even if you're the most optimistic person about this hire ever, you still look at it in regards to nobody knows what's going to happen. What's going to happen in the Lamont Paris era, because he's just his resume, right, is so thin that there's not a guaranteed track record where you feel like at least it's a guarantee. So who knows? But for Paris to start out his era with this, I mean, this is just incredible, dude. So how does it change expectations for year one? I'm not going to sit here and say Carolina's a Sweet 16 team or something like that. But I think you go from being a, probably bottom of the barrel SEC team to, I think, fighting for postseason play in some degree should be a realistic expectation. I mean, if he's really that dude, which by all counts he is that dude, it's one of those things where, he can carry a team like that and potentially get you to the postseason. So
it's just we got so much turnover from last year with everybody transferring. I know we got the kid from Citadel, and we got a couple of guys, the guy from Ohio State that was a big time recruit that hadn't done anything there, but it's just going to be a lot, to pull together next year. But I mean, that's a hell of a Jimmy and a Joe to put on your team to be able to help you do better in your first year for sure. It's just exciting. I saw you posted that he's all first team SEC preseason from some source. That's pretty cool. I mean, we don't get a lot of those.
Yeah.
So just to see our name on there is nice.
Yeah, John Rothstein going ahead and dropping. I guess he waited until that news dropped. But, yeah, I mean, again, it's – and think about this. When Gigi Jackson gets picked in the NBA draft, and I don't know if he'll be the number one pick or what pick he's going to be specifically, but he's going to get drafted. And to see that Block C, to see that Gamecock logo, I mean, that's nothing but a positive for the future of our program. So it's something you can sell in recruiting. I mean, listen, we've been trying to sell the Final Fours in 2017. Well, thank God now we got something else to sell. There's something else we can turn to and say, look what we've done. Look what we've built. Look at what we did with a guy, Gigi Jackson. You can stay home and be an elite player and win games. And this is a great place to play basketball. And I've said forever. I mean, nobody's going to. You're not going to trick anybody into thinking that basketball is the number one sport at Carolina. Like, football will always be king, just like basically every other SEC school outside of probably Kentucky. But South Carolina fans love basketball. I really do believe that. I mean, look at the women's side. Look at the attendance for the women's games and what Dawn's built. There's enough support for the basketball program to sell that in regards to, like, if we have a good team, if we have a team that's year in, year out competing to go to the tournament, CLA will be packed. It will. There will be plenty of support, plenty of it. So, it's exciting, man.
If you build a winner, they will come.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come. I mean, again, look at what Dawn Staley's done. And again, this is meant as no slight, but, like, it's women's basketball, bro, and they're packing the arena out. Like, that's impressive. That is damn impressive. So, it can certainly be done on the men's side. There's no reason it can't. Landing a guy like Gigi is the first step.
And I'll say one more thing, and I'll get off here. If you just go back 2 years ago and then fast forward to now, I mean, we got, one of the most famous football players in the country, whether you like them right, wrong, or indifferent, Spencer Rattler is a household name. Aaliyah Boston is the most popular women's basketball player in college basketball. And now we have arguably the most famous freshman basketball player coming in. It's good to be a Gamecock. I'll hop off of him later.
Great stuff, Will. Appreciate you calling in, my guy. Appreciate you calling in. Hope to see you, obviously, Thursday in Myrtle Beach. Going to be a really, really good time. Looking forward to the tour continuing there. Let's see. Cody Gaskins. The NIT is probably the only realistic outlook for this upcoming season. Of course, magic can happen. We can somehow make the NCAA tournament. Hey, just any postseason. I'll be cool with any postseason. Coach Ford, given the rest of our roster, you think Gigi's one and done? I would have thought a one-and-done guy would want to go to a team with Final Four possibilities. Yeah, Coach Ford, I think the entire reason, or one of the biggest reasons, Coach Ford, that Gigi Jackson's coming to South Carolina is so he could reclassify and be one-and-done. He's trying to get to his payday, his NBA payday, as quickly as possible. And that's cool. I don't understand why people frown upon a guy being a one-and-done. I hope our entire roster at some point is one-and-dones. You know why? Because if you're a one and done, you're a really good player. Guys, honestly, it's great to have guys on campus for multiple years and fans become attached to these players and they become great Gamecocks, right? But if you're a really good basketball player, you ain't staying on campus for 4 years. You're not. I'd rather have a roster full of one and dones. I'd rather be a Kentucky where every single year you got a new slate of starting five, new slate of players, because that means the guys you're bringing in are that good. If Gigi Jackson's here longer than a year, we messed up somehow. Something went awry. Something went wrong. We should want nothing but one and dones. I don't know why some people have this negative. That blows my mind, guys. That blows my mind if you were following that camp where you have this negative outlook on one and dones. Coach Ford, I'm cool with one and dones, just saying most of them go to schools with Final Four possibilities that year. Well, again, Coach Ford, if you look at the recruitment of Gigi Jackson and what happened, and I think that'll tell you a lot of the story of why it happened the way it did. So, the kudos to Gigi Jackson for wanting to stay home and do something special and do something different. And some guys want to be that trailblazer, man. Some guys want to be that trailblazer. Dalton Hines says, Chris, in order for this basketball season to be a success now, do we have to make some kind of postseason, whether it be NIT or NCAA tournament? You hate to put such hard expectations on year one, Dalton. You hate to put such hard expectations on year one. But this team should be fighting for the postseason at minimum. This team should be fighting for the postseason, right? So I would say this team should indeed be fighting for the postseason. Let's see. Coach Ford, we could be second in the East, but until we show a pulse again, 5th to 6th is about right. You would really, Coach Ford, I need to see your SEC East predictions. You would really pick us to finish 6th in the East, my friend. 6th. That's bold. It's just as bold to say we'll finish 6th as it is to say we'll finish 2nd. Put it that way. That's bold. Might happen. You might be right. That's bold, though. That's bold. Ben DeRosa says, at minimum, NIT or bust. Okay. So that's a great question, guys. How does this change the expectations for you for year one? Again, Gamecocks pick up Gigi Jackson. You can't overstate how big of a pickup that is and how big of a deal that is for South Carolina basketball. Changing the narrative around this program. And Lamont Paris, what a notch on his belt. We'll go ahead and jump to the phone.
Call from
Rebecca.
Here we go.
6.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. Are you going to tell him about me and Robbie Davis?
I will at some point, Rebecca. We got caught up in conversation today. So.
Yeah, I noticed that. But I didn't know if you're going to do it or not.
Yeah, we will at some point. We definitely will at some point. Yes, we got a lot of shows to do with Stephen Garcia. So we got a lot of shows to do.
Right. I thought I asked about that.
Yeah. So at some point we'll bring it up.
I was going to ask you on something else too.
Okay.
About that T-shirt that you promised me.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, Rebecca. In between moving in and shipping merch, yeah, I'm still working on it.
Okay, so I was just thought I asked because
Yeah.
Yeah, say the heck with it, not hell, because I got my pastor and his wife.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to get them upset. Seriously, not.
Indeed.
But I thought I'd just say that,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll get to heck with Tennessee. That's what the T-shirt will say.
Yeah, because we don't need anything. Don't need my pastor and his wife, saying anything to me.
It's the last thing we want.
Yeah, because I'd be having a little talk with them and Jesus at the same time. And that ain't no joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what Jesus would say.
I don't either. I'm going through my South Carolina clothes right now as I speak. South Carolina. I'm getting ready to go to somewhere, stay the night.
For what?
Help a friend out. And stay the night in another town. I'm getting the hell out of this house. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be glad to get a break from here. Basically, I need a vacation, to be honest with you. One of these days, I'll come down there to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. You should, Rebecca. You should.
I save the money up, I will. There's no doubt about it on that. I thought I'd just call in for a few minutes before I start packing to go down here to where I needed to go.
Right.
Hey, I found my Gamecocks jersey.
I love that.
I just found it. Yeah, I'm with Martin still. I don't know why they asked that. Keep asking me that. Me and Martin is doing good. I don't know why they keep asking me about me and Martin. You tell me, Chris.
What? Tell you what?
Why they keep asking?
I don't know. They're interested in your life, Rebecca. I'm telling you, you need your own show. You need your own show. Need your own
really
podcast.
Don't need one. Well, I wanted to say hello to everybody and say what I needed to say.
I love it. Rebecca, we always appreciate it.
Right.
Appreciate you calling
and
in.
I got, let me say one more thing.
Okay.
The hell with Tennessee Vols and the hell with Clemson Tigers.
Love that. Poetic. Poetic as always.
Right. All right, I'm going to get off here.
All right, well, Rebecca, I appreciate you calling in. Always a pleasure.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Let's see. Tommy Wallace. Here's a good question. Does all the highs of women's basketball, men's basketball, and football put more or less pressure on baseball? More. Because I don't think, let me put it to you this way. I look at it this way, Tommy. No matter what happens on the gridiron, on the hardwood, baseball has expectations. And those expectations, as I sit here right now hanging in my studio, the 2010 NCAA National Champions banner I have, 2011 National Champions memorabilia I have, the expectations, they are not lowered for anything at all. So I think if anything, it makes the pressure greater because it's like, hey, all these other sports are figuring it out. What are we doing on the diamond? I think the pressure for the Yardcocks, it will not go away, and it should never go away. So, let's see. I feel like I missed a couple of questions. Travis Jones, I need a beer. I hear you, my guy. Tyler Gay, NCAA tournament or at least the NIT. He said INT. GG makes a huge difference in our hopes for the season. Can't wait to see how the season goes. About time we have something to cheer about in men's hoops. Yeah, Tyler, I think that's fair. I mean, making some sort of postseason, I think that is a very reasonable thing to expect this year. So, Garrett H., what scenarios would have to happen in the first half of the season for you to officially change your pick to thinking this could be a team that wins 9 or more games? And let's make it clear, Garrett, by the way, I've picked this team to go 8-4 and beat Clemson. So I think we're going to be pretty solid this year. I think I'm probably the only person out there that will pick the Gamecocks to beat Clemson. And so, what scenario in the first half of the season? Beat Arkansas.
Call from.
The Queen is calling.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Rebecca, what's going on?
I'd like to say something to Chase Floyd. He told me to delete your number. He can kiss my ass. I have a right to call into this damn show. Best way to piss me off.
Chase Floyd feeling the wrath.
I don't put up with no bullshit, man. Being honest.
Fair enough. All right, so, Rebecca, you've said your piece. Chase Floyd can kiss your ass.
All right.
Fair enough?
All righty.
All right. Good stuff. Bye-bye. Anyways, my guy Lance, he says, On the lattes, we're beating Arkansas. Off the lattes, going to be a tough game. Anyways, to get to 9 or more wins, here's the thing. I was going to make this point too. Like my season prediction, I'm not going to like release an updated season prediction every week, right? I've released my season prediction. It's locked in. And then once we get in season, I release, every single week my predictions for the games. I'll be doing that on Fridays. But you beat Arkansas. Again, that's why I call it the biggest swing game of the season, right? You beat Arkansas. Honestly, you can throw out all not expectations, but throw out all predictions out the window, right? I think even a guy like Coach Ford would say, you beat Arkansas, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? You still might go 7-5, but you might go 9-3. You never know. Because, hey, I think we'd all agree if you beat Arkansas, you should beat Kentucky. You should start 5-1. You should start 5-1. With a game, you should start 5-1, bye week, A&M coming to your house. Who knows? Who knows? Even if you lose to A&M, I think if you beat Arkansas and you beat Kentucky, I think you're beating Missouri. You're beating Vandy. You're beating Florida. Good chance, or there's a decent chance you beat Tennessee. I mean, there's your 8 or 9 wins right there. Then you still got A&M, Clemson, right? I mean, there's a lot of possibility there. A lot of possibility. So if you beat Arkansas, I mean, heck, I've picked 8-4 guys with a loss to Arkansas. You beat Arkansas, I think there's your recipe to get to 9 wins or more. So I want to keep expectations, guys, realistic. It's still year 2. We're still an imperfect football team. Let's not get out ahead of ourselves, but I mean, to hell with it, man. Hey, listen, when you're making predictions, my guy Luke RJ was talking about this in the Big Cock Club Discord. But when you're making predictions, right, what's so hard, right? Somebody's got to have a bad season. But you know what? On that same note, somebody's got to break out. Why can't it be South Carolina? Why can't we be the surprise 8 or 9 win team this year? Somebody's got to do it. It's either going to be us, or it's going to be Kentucky, or it's going to be Florida, or it's going to be why can't it be us? Like, why can't it be us? I'm just saying. We are an imperfect team. If you want me to put the garnet glasses on, hey, like Lance says, off the lattes, we're probably going to go 7-5. 6-6 is even possible. On the lattes, why can't we win 9 or 10 games? On the lattes, anything is possible. Guys, we're going to jump into a quick break, but I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. Just a quick update for you all. No Daily Crow on Thursday because we are hitting the road to Myrtle Beach for the TSUS Tour, officially getting going at 6 o'clock at Carolina Ale House in Myrtle. Please tell all your Gamecock buddies the details in regards to that show. It was crazy to me, the amount of people that commented on social media that, for whatever reason, they did not know that we had a show at Ale House in Somerville. And I tried to put all the details all over social media all week leading up to it, and some people still did not realize we were going to be there. So I want to make sure everybody who wants to show up and come can. So if you know anybody that maybe is not on social media or needs to be reminded, let them know. Again, I hope to see all my Myrtle Beach Gamecocks this Thursday, and then Friday, again, I'm having a beach day, man. I'm going to be there. Would love to hang out with you guys. So Tyler Gay, yes, Garcia. Let's get this out there. Garcia is every Monday. The plan will be 12:15 to 12:45. Every single Monday, kind of like a Monday morning quarterback type deal. Like a Monday morning quarterback type deal. We'll have Garcia on every Monday, man. It's going to be the best content on the internet that day, for sure. It's going to be the best content on the internet. We'll have tons of clips from each conversation. Really awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff. We got Rebecca dropping F-bombs in the chat. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. My guy, Dave Garrick, what's going on? Appreciate you. Eric Reese. Hey, shout out, by the way, guys. We're here on the Daily Crow. Let me shout out my guy, Eric Reese, a.k.a. Reese Creative. You might have noticed on social media, you might have noticed in these photos when I've tagged him, he's been helping me with these opponent preview graphics. I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Eric Reese. Go follow Reese Creative on social media. Also, for all my prediction graphics and stuff, all those updated helmets you've seen, like the little helmet graphics on these prediction graphics and whatever, he is the man behind it. He is the one that created those, and I will continue to use those throughout the season. I'll be tagging him, but make sure you follow him on social media. Eric, I appreciate you, dog. He says the race for second in the SEC East is going to be insane this year. Yeah, again, 2 through 5, you could argue.
Chase Floyd, the Queen Slayer.
To accept, press 1.
Chase Floyd, the Queen Slayer. What's up, man? What's up, man? What's going on?
What's up, Chris? How's your Monday treating you so far?
Dude, it's going extremely well. That conversation with Garcia was legendary, and yeah, having a great start to the week.
That was awesome.
Finally getting settled into the new spot. Awesome. So, yeah, it's great stuff, man. Having a great Monday. I appreciate it. How's your day going?
I'm down here driving the old truck around, just trying to get some work done. But
I hear you.
Yeah, man, great first show with Garcia. Enjoyed that a lot, just listening to the banter back and forth. And glad to see you settling in great in Greenville. You closer up here to me, so hopefully I know I'll be trying to come down to the watch parties and stuff for sure when you're downtown at the Carolina Ale House. I've never met you in person, so it'd be nice to put my face with a screen name. Is that what you'd say? I guess. Yeah. So,
I guess so. Yeah.
Looking forward to doing that for you. But all right, I'm just gonna put it out here real quick, and then I'm gonna get it off here. Rebecca, sweetie, the last 6 months or so, it's been awesome. We've enjoyed it. We've rode this wave together, but the stick's kind of getting stuck in the mud. No hard feelings. This is just a sports show, okay? And I'm trying to be as calm and polite as possible, but read the room. You never talk sports, and when you do, it's just that silence right there. That's basically what it is. So I'm happy that you get entertainment from Chris's show, just like everybody else. But a lot of guys and girls that listen are on their lunch breaks and stuff, and we don't want to hear an episode of Jerry Springer every episode when we call in. So I just wanted to put that out there, that maybe you should just call with a more collected call if you're going to call. And if not, just read the room, and maybe you should just delete Chris's number for all of us, please. All right, I'm out. Queen Slayer, have a good day, Chris.
Appreciate it, man. Queen Slayer out. Chase, I appreciate the call, man. Anyways, we're moving on. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Courtney, appreciate the love, by the way, in the graphics. Yeah, like I said, man, Eric Reese does an incredible job. And, yeah, looking forward to continuing to use the graphics and the helmets. And I'm sure that, there will be even more stuff down the road. Let's jump back to the phone
Call
lines
from
here.
Hello, Dalton.
to accept.
Dalton, what's going on? I like how you said hello to the voicemail.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm on. I'm in South Dakota, so
What is
shout out
going
to all
on
my
in
homies
South
back
Dakota
home.
that you need to be doing, my guy?
It's just a family visit. Nothing real special, but it's a beautiful day outside. Way colder here than it is back home, which I appreciate.
Gotcha.
Can you hear me all right?
No, I can hear you, my guy. Sorry, I had to
Okay.
ignore a call that was coming in, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. But I mean, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is obviously, our basketball program's getting a lot of hype with Gigi Jackson, and you addressed my question in the chat earlier in the show about like Anthony Edwards. And what I meant by that is not necessarily that like Gigi Jackson isn't, that we're going to get him and he's not going to be like a top 10 draft pick. But we've seen a lot of other programs like Florida when they won their national championship in basketball. They got one player, like a star player from Florida. I can't remember what his name. And their coach basically accredited all of their success, after that point to getting that one player. But we've also seen other situations like with Anthony Edwards where, he's an in-state guy in Georgia, a really talented player, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, killing it in the NBA right now. He had a really good season the one year he was there in Georgia, but they really didn't do anything as far as postseason goes, and they didn't really do anything, with the recruiting momentum. So what my main concern is not that like, Gigi is going to, flop or not have success at the next level or not get drafted.
Mm.
But my main concern is that in order to take the next step, so to speak, to ignite our program and elevate it above what Frank Martin already did, we need to play this Gigi situation out correctly. And I'm just concerned we're not going to have the capability to do it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's fair. You don't just want it to be a one-off, right? You want to actually build something from it. I mean, what would you say, my guy, is the way to build off of it? You got to continue to recruit, right? And you got to sell the hell out of this on the recruiting trail and get more good players. I mean, yeah, if you just get Gigi Jackson and that's all she wrote, and you just go back to your old ways per se, then yeah, you're not going to feel the effects of Jackson's commitment, right, and his coming here. But you got to think Lamont Paris is going to do everything in his power to sell that, right? He's going to do everything in his power to parlay that success and parlay that pickup into even more down the road. So, I mean, I guess only time will tell. But it was the domino. I think it was the first domino that had to fall.
I think another aspect that we're sort of leaving out of this equation is also the NIL implications. Mm-hmm. Because obviously Gigi Jackson being the in-state guy, not even in-state, but like Columbia is his hometown and all that. I think there are going to be a lot of businesses that sort of rally behind that and give him a lot of NIL opportunities. And I think if we play it right and we can sort of market to these guys, Cam Scott, KJ Jefferson, these, high-level players coming in the 23, 24 class, I think that could help us as well. But again, like, if we squander this opportunity with Gigi, no matter how, much NIL opportunity there is, they're not going to want to play for a program that even with, a top-tier talent like Gigi is, can't make the NIT even.
Yeah.
NIL
is a big part of it for sure, man. Yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, leveraging this to bring in more big-time players. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And like I said, how do they use NIL? Certainly NIL is going to be used here. So to what level, to what degree will be interesting. But certainly it will be played here big time. Big time. So.
I mean, I do think, though, the one great thing this does is it puts more excitement back into Gamecock basketball, because obviously since the Final Four run, it's sort of stagnated out.
Dude,
there
absolutely.
hasn't been a whole lot of excitement.
Yeah, that was the thing I said, last year at the end of the Martin era was it's like Martin's biggest problem is not that he's not winning X amount of games. It's that people don't care anymore. Like the apathy has set in because it's the same old. It's like you said, gotten stale. I mean, this Jackson pickup, man, is such a shot in the arm for a basketball program that needed it so badly. Because, I mean, dude, I think we can all be honest, right? How excited are we all going to be for Carolina basketball this season if Gigi Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I think if nothing else, like the one thing fans can go to every game and root for is for Gigi to do well and be box office, so to speak. Put up 40 a game. Look really good doing it, even if we do lose more than we win. And just to see what happens with Lamont Paris, and if his style of play is more interesting than the Martin style was, and all of that.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, again, Paris's hire was a breath of fresh air that the program needed, and you add a guy like Jackson, and it just the excitement is through the roof. I'd probably say fans are as excited, if not more excited, than they were the year following the Final Four, right? I mean, there's that much hype and buzz now around Carolina basketball just because of one player, and that's what a big time guy like that's what one player can do when he's a guy like a Gigi Jackson is. So I'm excited to see how it plays out, man. Because I won't shy away from it. I'm not a diehard basketball guy. Like I'm not. It's not my number one sport. It's not my favorite. And honestly, one of the reasons of that is because South Carolina basketball for basically its entire history has been blah. And so it's like you're investing your time, energy, and emotion into a blah product, and it's just not really something you want to do. You know what I mean? Like we have football, we have baseball. Basketball has always just sort of been there. And so that's what Lamont Paris, that's what he's fighting, what he's trying to do is take this program from just being there to taking it to being a program where, like, we actually look forward to it. We actually look forward to basketball season. We have reasons to be fired up and excited.
Obviously, one of the main aspects of that is that college basketball is almost entirely centered around the NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah.
If you're not in the conversation for getting into the NCAA tournament and being there in March, then your team really isn't that relevant.
Right.
No matter how many games in the SEC you win, if you win the SEC tournament, doesn't really matter. If you're not at least in the NCAA tournament or in some kind of postseason, then nobody really cares about your team as far as like national relevancy.
Yeah, I mean that's what we talked about, man, with Martin, and like I kind of felt for Frank Martin because he was going to try to sell you on the things that we've won this many games since I've been here, and we finished this spot in the SEC, and it's the winningest this, it's the winningest that, but it's like all people care about are making the tournament. And the bottom line is you made the tournament once in a decade. That's it. All the other stuff you're bringing up is fluff. It's bullshit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? And it's a shame. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Like you said, man, the entire season is centered around getting to the tournament. That's why March Madness is such a big thing. It's why we all fill out a bracket. I mean, it is why you even play the season. You know what I mean? So, that's what the point we're trying to get to. I mean, I think, and that's the reason we moved on from Frank Martin. Listen, I don't care. You can be a Frank Martin defender till you're blue in the face. I know there's still many Frank Martin stands out there, but Frank Martin has nobody to blame but himself, man. If you'd have just gotten back to the tournament one time, just one more, he's still here. Just one more. We're not even asking to go every year. I think 3 times in a decade's realistic, man. If 3 times in a decade, if 3 times in a decade's not realistic, just blow the program up. I mean, straight up, dude. There's no point even having a program.
At least every other year should be our goal, I think, realistically. I mean, Because if we're at least decent and we're in the conversation by the end of the season, maybe we, just miss that last spot or what have you, but just being in the conversation and being the first 4 in or the first, on the bubble, that matters as far as, the middle of the season. There's the fact of the matter is, like, for a long time, there's by the, you get to the end of October, there really hasn't been much conversation of, here are realistic chances to get to the NCAA tournament. And I'm excited to sort of see if Lamont Paris can get us to where we want to go.
Mm.
Another aspect of this is, since, we got Gigi, we still have another slot open, another scholarship slot. So I'm sort of interested to see what Lamont and Kerry Rich and all those guys can do with that last slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. You think you want to add another big time piece and make this a season that, we will.
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot of players out there in the transfer portal, but there's got to be at least somebody, whether it be, a high school commit that hasn't committed to a school yet, or, someone in the transfer portal that can, make a difference, that can be an impact player. Because if we're just taking, whatever, guys out of the Citadel or, Coastal or whatever, like, that's not going to do much. Right. We need players that can make a difference in the SEC.
Yeah. It's a very good point, my guy. Yeah. I would like to think they're going to pick up one more big piece. I have no clue who it would be, but somebody to complement Gigi Jackson. Because again, I mean, imagine if we're sitting here and Lamont Paris is taking this team to the NCAA tournament. I mean, just imagine, bro. Imagine what that would mean moving forward.
What it would mean for recruiting, what it would mean for NIL as far as basketball goes, what it would mean for, attendance and overall hype around basketball. Because, I mean, college basketball, as much as, a lot of the Carolina fan base doesn't want to, like, say it matters, a sold-out stadium or, like, a big-time college basketball game is one of the most exciting things ever,
Yeah.
And we just haven't had very many of those recently, on the men's side at least, at Colonial Life Arena. So I'm hoping we can get back to that. I'm hoping that we can, make college basketball relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think getting Gigi Jackson is the first step. There's still a lot of steps to go, though. So this doesn't automatically mean we're going to get where we want, but I think it's the first step in doing that.
Yeah, dude, I think you're 100% right, man. It was the first, again, it was the first domino that had to fall, and we'll see if Lamont Paris can parlay that into even more success down the road, but you'd like to think so. And, I mean, hell, man, I think if you would have told Gamecock fans a couple months ago that, hey, Lamont Paris is going to actually land Gigi Jackson and get him on campus, one, you wouldn't have believed me. You'd have called me crazy. And two, you'd have been like, man, Paris, the truth. He's the answer. He's the guy. Maybe he can turn into that. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. So.
Right. We'll see what happens. But that's all I wanted to call in about is just clarify my point and sort of talk about the whole Gigi situation.
Mm-hmm. Dalton, great stuff, man. I appreciate you calling in. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
No problem. You have a good one.
Yeah, man. Take care. Hope Dalton enjoys his time out in South Dakota. My guy, Bad Brad 757 in the TDC Questions channel of the Big Cock Club Discord says, have you heard any rumblings regarding the additional scholarship we have available at the moment and who it might be allocated to? I haven't done too much research. I haven't heard anything, Brad. Haven't heard anything. He said, follow-up looks like everybody in the top 90 is either committed or enrolled, including Michi Johnson. With that being said, is it too late in the process or too close to basketball season to flip one of those top 90? Again, I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't want to say something that could be, could be wrong or what have you. I don't know for sure. But you got to think that, like Dalton was saying, there's got to be somebody out there, right? There's got to be somebody who's looking for a spot, somebody who's looking for a school, because you got that spot to use. You want to add somebody else to complement the guy. So, let's see. Yeah, you think there's got to be an impact guy available. So, got to be an impact guy available. So, Coach Ford says, hard to rationally plan for much more than 6-6. That has us winning the 4 should-be gimme games, dropping Georgia, A&M, Tater Tech, and Arkansas. Then we split the 4 toss-ups, Mizzou and Florida. Wins, Kentucky and Tennessee losses. Well, I mean, Coach Ford, I'm not saying that that's an unfair prediction. I'm not saying that at all. To get to 7-5 or God forbid 8-4, like I've picked, you're going to have to win some games that you're not going to be favored in, right? By the way, guys, this is a sort of a side note. On that note, though, Phil Steele dropped Vegas odds for games, Super Sportsbook, right? Super Sportsbook. And they have game of the year odds, okay? Game of the year odds. And so in their early game of the year odds, Georgia is a 22.5-point favorite over South Carolina. I'm trying to look at maybe if there's some notable games. Bama's a 17.5-point favorite over Texas. I don't know if there would be any more South Carolina games. Let's see. They probably have the Clemson game on here, but Georgia, a 22.5-point favorite. Clemson just a 7.5-point favorite over Florida State and Tallahassee. That could be an interesting game. Never know. Let's see. I'm just trying to look. Georgia, 15.5-point favorite over Tennessee. Yeah, I think the only other game they'd have is Clemson, Carolina Clemson. Alabama, 27.5-point favorite over Auburn. Clemson, a 19-point favorite over Carolina. I will gladly take plus 19. If you want to give me plus 19, I'll take plus 19. Let's see. Travi, yeah, the spread in 2019 when Carolina beat Georgia, I'll never forget, was 24.5. Justin Martin texted in, says, Chris, it's Justin. I'm happy we got G.G. Jackson, go Gamecocks. Do you see any SEC coaches going to the NFL in the near future? Notre Dame is staying independent. Are any coaches going to the NFL? I couldn't tell you, man. None that I know specifically. It could happen, but not that I know off the top of my head. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break, but I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 8 minutes or so here in the Daily Crow on this Monday, taking your questions, your comments, your calls. I do want to say, guys, again, thank you all so much for the continued love and support on the merchandise side of the business. Orders are rolling in for let's see. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Anyways, yeah. If you guys, I wanted to say this. If you're waiting on towels, I appreciate your patience. We are getting the first batch of orders shipped out today or by end of day tomorrow. It'll be very, very soon. We're getting those all shipped out, taken care of, all that good stuff. I am picking up our next batch on Thursday, so I will have towels on hand on Thursday at the Carolina Ale House Myrtle Beach location. I'll be getting the next batch of towels sent out probably by Monday of next week at the latest, okay? So I promise you guys will have your towels by game day, but I want to make sure we have realistic expectations. Let's jump to the phone lines.
To accept.
Walker, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate you calling. I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
So I wanted to talk about two quick little things, and I'll get out of here because I know I got a 2 o'clock time limit. But first off, I mainly want to talk about basketball. But a quick thing about football is some overly optimistic, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Some people might disagree, but about the Texas A&M game is a lot of people are saying they think we can win because. And most people are using solely the stat of coming off of bye week in the past, I don't even know how long. We're 14-2. Mm-hmm. And we overall sucked against A&M. But what very few people are talking about is how Texas A&M is also coming off of a bye week that week. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, oh, we got the upper hand because we're getting rest. Well, they're getting the same rest. So that's going to be. You can't. It's basically like we're playing even. So I don't really care about our success on bye week if they're getting one too. And two, I wanted to talk about the basketball team. That was a great pickup by Gigi Jackson, and I really do kind of agree with that. I forgot who it was. He said something about how the basketball season could turn out like Anthony Edwards, and I completely agree. In Georgia, is if we don't have a good surrounding staff to surround Gigi, then we're not going to be anything more than just a terrible team with a good player. We have to have a good surrounding class to help him.
Yeah, we definitely need a good supporting cast. I'm excited for Michi Johnson from Ohio State, but you need more guys. Jacoby Wright's solid. Yeah, Jacoby Wright's solid, but you need to add one more if you can. Gigi certainly is going to make a huge impact, and like you mentioned, you want to get the most out of him. I'm not saying it's post NCAA tournament or bust or anything, but I think we all agree like making some sort of run to the postseason is an absolute must with a talent like that on campus. To your point about the A&M game, I agree with you. I picked that game as a loss. I understand that we have a bye week, but like you mentioned, they also have a bye week. So what difference does it make? Like you can't really point to. I feel like that's such a, and I understand, right? Because last year we had a bye week before Florida. I don't think they did. I think they were coming off the Georgia game, actually. But we had a bye week for Florida. It obviously benefited us tremendously. We played one of our best games of the year, if not our best game of the year, and beat them. So, but yeah, when A&M's got a bye week as well, and it's that really doesn't. I mean, we're going to have to go out if we're going to upset Texas A&M and beat them for the first time ever. It's not going to be because solely we had a bye week. It's going to be because we are a really good team and we came out and played good football and we out executed them and that's it. You know what I mean? They're going to have the same time to prepare as we are. So, would love to see that streak end. It's getting really old seeing us get our asses kicked by them. But yeah, I agree with you, man. The bye week doesn't necessarily make as big a difference as I think we would like it to make.
Mm-hmm. I will say one thing about the basketball season is what I will say that was one of my biggest pet peeves with Frank was there would always be a guy that usually it was a center that me particularly I liked, very much, and I like the way he played the game, and I felt like he would have fitted our type of offense, which I'm not saying that, I don't know how much you really watch basketball or if anybody, many people in here watch, but I'm not saying Weldon Levesque, who was our starting center, is very bad at all. I'm just saying I feel like some of these guys we had on the backups were better for some of the SEC type plays and how he could fit in. And I feel like it is great because we did lose Weldon Levesque, which that's going to be a big loss, but one of the backups I was talking about, who I hope is our starting center this year, his name is Josh Gray. He injured his hand last year, which was horrible in my opinion. We really went downhill. But he was a 7'1" center, and those good 2 to 3 inches he had on Levesque made the difference. And with Gigi coming in, as he's going to be our starting our starting power forward probably, we're going to need that height at the center position to get we don't need them to score as much as we need them to get the rebounds and play good defense. And I feel like that's exactly what Gray is going to bring to the table with that 7'1" long wingspan type build he had.
Dude, Gray's a guy that I gave, I gave him a little crap last year, but again, I mean, coming from LSU, 7'1", like you mentioned, can his size and athleticism be a difference maker? Walker, before I get you out here, again, I'm not trying to move off of basketball or dismiss the basketball talk because I'm excited for basketball as well, but there is a question here, and I want to direct this to you. Our good friend Jeff Gullidge, who tunes in every day, he says, I would like to know Walker's view on the Arkansas game. I'm curious also how you view that one.
Arkansas. So me personally, I think that's going to be a toss-up game. I don't think that's it's going to be a very, very tough game. I do believe our defensive line is going to have trouble that game, not only because we have historically not been good at stopping the run, but I feel like me personally, I feel like we are very bad at giving up huge plays. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I go to a lot of the games and I feel like these are the types of plays I see. So maybe it's not as bad as other teams, but me personally, when I see the games that are game-changing plays, we will give up a lot of either big plays, so like big runs, or we will give up a 3rd and 6 where a quarterback just goes untouched and gets a good 10 yards, 15 yards, or a running back gets a little screen pass or something like that. I feel like that is what we need to watch out for with a quarterback like KJ Jefferson. One thing I will say is that they are going to be missing a lot the receiver-wise with losing Traylon Burks because he was an outstanding wide receiver for a young KJ Jefferson to help him. I think it's going to be a close game. To be honest, I haven't picked a winner yet. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with that game because that's such a toss-up game and they're a very good team, but I'll keep looking at that.
For sure. No, I think you make a lot of great points, man. Again, Arkansas, 4 or 5 starters back on the offensive line. They do add, by the way, at receiver, the 5-star, the name, is it Hazelwood, I think, or whatever his name is, the 5-star transfer, the transfer portal receiver from Oklahoma. So he should help in their passing game. I agree with you, man. I think it's all that's 110% a line of scrimmage game. And if South Carolina, they had so much trouble stopping the run last year, if it's the same type of vibe as we had a season ago, it's going to be. It could be a long afternoon. I do have a close game. I do have Arkansas getting the win, but hey, biggest swing game of the season. So we'll see. Walker, go ahead.
All I want to say is our defensive line. I want us to blitz a little bit for sure, but I think our main focus needs to just running some contain off the edge to make sure he doesn't get some massive play.
Yeah, I think Jefferson, you've got to make him pick what way does he want to beat you with his legs or with his arm. You can't let him do both. If you do, you have no shot.
Yeah, and I try to force it to a one-on-one with Cam Smith. That's my, I'd say leave the other guys, helpful, send all the safeties on that one side and let Cam Smith on an island.
Yeah, it'll be a great opportunity for Cam to show he's that dude. I mean, it's, you want to be that guy. Let's see it.
All right, well, thank you for having me on, and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, Walker, call in anytime, my friend. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the call. Great stuff. Walker's a star, man. Walker's a legend. Appreciate him. All right, guys, we've hit 2 o'clock. Obviously, appreciate you all tuning in. Check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 679. Full breakdown of G.G. Jackson's commitment. Also, the opponent preview series rolls on as we talk the Week 4 matchup against the Charlotte 49ers. Also, in case you missed it, an extra podcast this week. A podcast will drop tomorrow as we talk SC State. Honestly, guys, when I was planning content for the season, there were basically, let's just use this number, for example. There's 21 topics, and there's only 20 slots for podcasts and shows. So instead of combining Charlotte and SC State into one podcast, I figured let's just add a podcast this week. So we'll do a quick opponent preview on SC State tomorrow. So an extra pod for you for the week. Maybe it'll make up for the no Daily Crow on Thursday and probably no Daily Crow on Friday. Either way, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for your continued love and support. Content continues to bleed out the eyeballs. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.